Warning, there may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 104 of Tailgate Talks. This episode of Tailgate Talks is sponsored by Defrisher Recycling and Junk Removal. More on that later. Mike, just me and you today.
Yeah, I kind of figured we haven't done one of just you and me in a while, so.
No, it's been a minute.
Yeah, so I figured just you and me. And to be totally honest with you guys, I thought this is where the down of the summer was going to start.
Yeah.
It's normally how it's gone the last 2 years. Was I wrong when I woke up this morning? Because the Steelers have traded for corner Jalen Ramsey, and we have traded away Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Did we also send them a 5th round pick? Minkah in a 5th? Yeah.
I'll get the details in a second. And if you're wondering why we keep chewing on stuff and eating stuff, well, Alex just came back from work. I just came back from the gym, and I still have to work.
Yeah, literally.
So, eat, I can't say.
Let's see. Okay, I got it if you want me to say it.
Go for it.
So, the full trade details, this doesn't include contract stuff. I think, Mike, you said something about that earlier, so I'll let you say something about that if it's the case. Anyway, the Miami Dolphins receive Minkah Fitzpatrick in a 2027 5th round pick. The Steelers, in return, get Jalen Ramsey, tight end Jonnu Smith, in a 2027 7th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Ramsey in the black and gold.
He's going to look great in black and gold.
Yeah, he really is.
Also, if you guys are wondering how the pay-per-view at 880 Wrestling went, no comment, because Sammy could be watching. Anyway, yeah, so I heard the rumor about Jalen Ramsey, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, and I figured, and believe it or not, I actually asked Justin, and he said, yeah, it's just a rumor, but it'd be awesome to have. And normally when I hear that, I think probably not going to happen. And a lot of people said it probably wasn't going to happen, that the Steelers weren't going to go trade, because we haven't made this many trades. God, I can't remember. It's been a while. It's just not very Steelers-like, No,
it's not.
And I feel like after Rodgers signed, I still think they've done a pretty good job in the offseason.
Yeah.
Because listen, Rodgers is still going to do good. He was on the Jets, and look at his stats. Didn't he throw more touchdowns than Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes?
He threw for 3,900 yards and 28 touchdowns or something like that. And that was only in 13 games, by the way.
Yeah. And not to say, I'm just almost trying to pencil it. Not to say, obviously, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, but and Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. But still though, those are some good numbers, even at his age and being on the New York Jets.
Especially 1 year removed from the Achilles tear.
Exactly. So, people, again, I've said this before to people, and I'll say it again. Rodgers on the Steelers is not going to be as bad as people are saying.
No, it's not.
Now, will they win? I don't know. I haven't seen them in this offense. So
I definitely don't think games will be as boring this year.
No. And the more they win, then the more they'll be out to get Drew Aller.
I know you loved saying that.
I'm telling you, it will tank the franchise if we draft him. Anyway, we next we get that LSU kid, but anyway, that's not the point. But I like the trade. I thought it was fair. Now,
yeah,
there's a lot of questions going in. Here's the thing: after and I actually had a point with what I was saying with Rodgers. After he said that this is probably it, they're going all in.
Why not?
Think they're going all in. CJ texted me, said all in, and asked if I was high. um, but now this goes back to what I said last week with the highest paid defense. Do I care? No. Does it adding Jalen Ramsey help? Yes.
Corner was a pretty big position of need.
Yeah, but now it's kind of like we traded the need from corner to safety because now we lost Minkah Fitzpatrick in the trade. But Darius Slay can play safety.
Yeah, I was going to say, hear me out. So it's going to be Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter at corner. And then it's going to be, I would imagine, Darius Slay and Deshaun Elliott at safety.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. I'm not going to lie. I don't know which one's going to play what. I don't know if with Slay being older, I don't know if they'd rather keep him in the box where he doesn't have to run as much and, you know, be up high covering deep as much, or if they're going to want him to be the deep coverage guy and let Elliott be the box safety, because I'm pretty sure that's what he played last year. They finally let Minkah play free again so that Deshaun Elliott could be in the box. So either way, I think that'll work.
Yeah, I think it'll work because I literally exit out of the stopwatch.
Yeah.
We've been talking for 5 minutes, so I think we'll around that. But yeah, so now, well, here's the thing with the tight. One more thing about the offense though is tight end wise, who's going to get cut? It's going to be Connor Hayward.
It's got to be, right? Like, I mean,
or he's going to the practice squad because of Cam. Listen, I like Connor Hayward, but like Darnell Washington is a big dude, and you're not going to get rid of Freiermuth. You just got rid of George Pickens.
Especially because you just extended Muth as well not too long ago.
Yeah, so with Smith, he's a good tight end. So like, sorry.
And I think maybe this'll, like, Jonnu was decent in Arthur Smith's Tennessee offense, so it's at least a guy that Arthur Smith is familiar with. I think he's going to be used more as like a big slot than a true tight end. I would imagine they'll let Muth and Darnell Washington do the big tight end stuff. And I just think Connor Hayward's not really an actual tight end anyway. He's not that big, can't block that great. He's decent at running and routes and catching the ball, but like, it's just, he's one of those gadget guys. He would be great in the Shanahan offense. I'd be willing to bet that. I bet in like a hybrid Kyle Juszczyk type role, I bet Connor Hayward would be pretty good. He's just not fit for the Steelers.
I think he would have done well in the Eagles offense last year.
Yeah, kind of that. Or even, it's not going to happen because I don't think that they would use this kind of player in this way. But if you think about how like Andy Reid liked to use Tyreek Hill as a gadget player, I bet Andy Reid could come up with some creative stuff to do with a Connor Hayward. But I don't think they would do it anyway.
Of course, you bring up the Chiefs.
Yeah, you know. He'll find somewhere to get used. He'll be a special teamer at least. I just don't think he's going to stay on the Steelers.
Yeah. So everybody's wondering, what does this mean for TJ Watt?
Right.
I'm here to tell you, looking at the landscape of the defense and the offense and how much the Steelers are spending wise, I am here to tell you, and with all the rumors, this is blown out of proportion. It is going to get done when it gets done.
Yeah.
Is there disagreements? Yes. Is it going to get done? Yes. The cap doesn't matter. They're fine.
You know the meme or like the TikTok trend that's going around now of like the propaganda I'm not falling for this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have one thing on my list of propaganda I'm not falling for this year. That is the salary cap in sports. I'm not falling for it this year. It's fake. It's not real.
It's not real.
I don't believe it.
No, I wish it was real in baseball though.
God, at least something.
But yeah, it'll get done.
Actually, apparently it doesn't matter if you're the New York Mets playing Pittsburgh Pirates, but we'll talk about that later.
Still don't know how we manage that, but so yeah, it'll get done. I like the trade. Now, once again, I'm not going back on my word of what I keep saying about the Steelers. Win a playoff game, and then I'll get excited.
Same. Yeah.
So it's a good move. It's a good piece you added. Sucks to see Minka go. I mean, other than last year, the 2 years prior, he was. He had a bounce back year last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's go Steelers.
How funny is that though? He got drafted by Miami, traded to Pittsburgh, and now he got traded back to Miami.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. How many games do you play in Miami?
I think he played a season or two. Let me look while we're transitioning to, I would assume, another topic now.
Because we traded a first round pick for Minka, didn't we?
Yeah, we traded a first rounder for him.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he played his first 2 seasons in Miami. Looks like he might have gotten hurt year 2, and I believe that's why they traded him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. You got any other thoughts on the Minka and Jalen Ramsey trade?
No, I think corner was a more glaring need than safety anyway. It's a franchise move. Jalen Ramsey is going to be cheaper than keeping Minka because he's a little bit young. Minka's a little younger than Jalen Ramsey, and probably need to give him one more contract and everything. Jalen Ramsey's probably going to get a vet deal, and I think it's a fine trade. I think that we won it personally. I think we definitely got more value out of it. But yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, some people are calling it a blockbuster. I don't think it's a blockbuster. I think Jalen Ramsey is probably on the tail end of his career. But who knows? Maybe he balls out and anchors our defense this year in the secondary. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. But all right. So there was the NBA draft last week. As I get my gains real quick. Gains, not sponsored. Anyway, had to make it in there. It's Fruity Pebble protein powder, I believe. I just protein in my eyes. That's why I can't remember. But anyway, so all right, round 1, pick 1. You're gonna be shocked by this, Alex. The Dallas Mavericks took Cooper Flag.
Yeah, shocker.
So, hold on. I actually have something to say about the Cooper Flag thing. So, of course, he did the introduction press conference, which everybody does when you get drafted in any sports league. And Nico Harris goes, now I think the fans are starting to see the vision. Brother, Cooper Flag better be as good or better than Luka in that case. Because Luka is still Luka. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Cooper Flag is going to be fantastic for the Mavericks. I think he's going to be a franchise guy, in my opinion. And I don't say that about Duke Blue Devils. But he's not Luka Doncic. So, saying I think you see the fans see the vision now. No, they don't. You still got rid of Luka. And it was still stupid. So, there's that. And then next, guard out of Rutgers, Dylan Harper goes to the Spurs. Then the 76ers take VJ Edgecombe. And then the Hornets take Con Knopfel. Oh, jeez. And then with the next one, which I thought was the funniest draft pick out of all of them, to the Utah Jazz. Out of Rutgers, guard Ace Bailey. Looks like he does not want to be there. And I know he doesn't want to be there because I forget who the teams he wanted to be on, but it wasn't obviously the Jazz because the Jazz suck. But his facial expressions at the draft are just hilarious, hysterical. But then it's the Wizards, Trey Johnson out of Texas. Welcome. Then Jeremiah Fears goes to the Pelicans. Then the Nets get Egor Demin. And then the Raptors get Colin Murray Boyles. And then Can we all agree that the way the NBA does drafts is stupid? It's stupid. I almost lost my train of thought for a second, but no, I was on the right track there. And I'm not talking about because it's a draft. Like, there's nothing wrong with the actual saying of the draft. The problem is it's too long. It's only 2 rounds, so it doesn't need to be that long. And the way they do trades is ridiculous. If Atlanta's picking in, or the Raptors, I don't care, or the Cavaliers, or the Lakers, just say this is the Lakers pick and have the Lakers graphic on there. It's not that hard. Why does the top need to say proposed trade to the Lakers?
Right.
And they're going to the Lakers. But why do you need the Raptors thing on the bottom? There's a reason why there's no pick there's no pick on the stage at the draft with Trae Young with the Hawks hat on, because he has the Mavericks hat on. Same thing with Luka, because Luka has the Hawks hat on. Stupid. Anyway, and I probably could be reading this wrong too, because I don't know. But anyway, Kamar Malucci apparently is on the Suns. Cedric Coward is apparently on the Grizzlies. Derek Queen apparently on the Pelicans. Carter Bryant, I think, is on the Spurs. Again, these trades. Going to the Heat, I believe, is Thomas Sirbour. Yang Hansen, I believe, is going to the Trailblazers, who, by the way, was sitting. I believe this was him. He was sitting in the crowd and not at on the draft floor with everybody else, which was pretty funny. Joanne Bergin is going to the Pistons, I think. Walter Clayton Jr. going to the Jazz. I like that pick.
Charlotte Gators.
Treo going to the Bucks. Casper Chank Ukonis going to the Warriors, I think. Or no, going to the Heat. Damn it. Will Riley going to the Wizards. Drake Powell going to the Nets. Asa Newell going to the Hawks. Love the pick. Nick Clifford going to the Kings. Jace Richardson going to the Nuggets. Ben Safair going to the Knicks, I think. No, going to the Nets. Then also going to the Nets, I believe, is Danny Wolf. And then Hugo Gonzalez going to the Celtics. And then the Hornets, damn it, are going to get Liam McNeely and Yankee Conan Der Hasser going to the Thunder. That rounds up the first round. I don't want to read any more picks because I don't want to be confused with the draft.
Nope.
But of course, as we might be joined by somebody here soon. So I like what the Hawks did because guess what? They got Kristaps Porzingis.
That's right.
They got Porzingis. The Celtics are blowing up for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if they think Tatum's gonna have a slow recovery back. I don't know. But
they're just trying to front load with talent and try and keep the momentum. I don't know.
But you could do that because have it be a down year and then whatever, which is fine. But but thinking about the Hawks line, I don't know. The first two are obvious: Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. That's obvious. Then you're not gonna bet. You're not the odd man out's not gonna be the 1-1 pick from last year, Risa Share. No chance.
No way.
Jalen Johnson just got paid, so he's not the odd man out, I think. So that means Noel's not going to be a starter right away, and he's probably going to split minutes with Jalen Johnson or Risa Share, probably Jalen Johnson, because Jalen Johnson, I mean, he got paid, and then I don't know. I mean, we're talking with Shady. He doesn't think he is, but I guess Porzingis is at center, or what's his name, Okafor or Okafara. I can't remember how you say his last name. I apologize, but I don't know. I feel like the Hawks did the right steps to build because, once again, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Trae leaves if you don't win anytime soon, because I'm trying to remember. Do some history right here. second, ladies and gentlemen. We look at the 2021 bracket. Is this the right bracket? Hold on. No, that's not the right bracket. What the hell? Sorry, 1 second. I was gonna say, Alex, if there's anything you need to promote, go right ahead.
This is a good little time. In this brief little intermission while Mike finds what he's looking for, just want to take a moment. Say, this episode of Tailgate Talks is sponsored by Defrisha Recycling and Junk Removal. As you all may know by now, depending on how many of you are returning viewers every week, Defrisha is a family-run business out of Greenville, Pennsylvania, that provides services such as vehicle purchasing, scrap metal purchasing, appliance removal, junk removal, garbage services, dumpster rentals, curbside pickups, house garage and building cleanouts, and demolition around the Greenville and Pittsburgh areas. If you are in need of any of these services, visit the link in the description below, either to their website or to their Facebook, and get in contact with them to see if they provide service in your area. Thank you to Defrisha for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks.
I think Alex just put the link in the description for it while we were going through.
I did. It was in 101 and 102. It just wasn't in 103.
So okay, I found what I wanted. So and I know I had it right. I was just double checking, making sure everything was right. So like what they're trying to do is, because the 2021 Atlanta Hawks, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucs. They lost.
Right.
Of course, that year they beat the Knicks. That's where, of course, Trae Young became the most hit person in Madison Square Garden. And then they beat the 76ers in a great series, and then they lost to the Bucs in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, like I said, if they build around Trae Young, they build around Dyson Daniels, then good. Now, here's the thing: is Reese Share a 1-1 guy? I don't know. Is going into year 2? Is he gonna have a sophomore slump? These are some interesting questions. I do know, because we were talking about trades-wise, as of we speak today on this June 30th, 2025, the last day in June, Trae Young and Dyson Daniels are untouchable, apparently, in the trade market. So, I don't know. So, I like what the Hawks did. So, but there's actually more news, and I'm not going to say actually, no, I should. Because, like, I swear to God, Kevin Durant just switches teams every 5 years.
If that, like every 2. Crazy.
Literally, I swear, dude. Like, I swear. So, okay, I'm going to try to find the right trade details, because he was traded on the 22nd. So, okay. So the Rockets received Kevin Durant, obviously, and the Suns received Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 2025 first-round pick, which is number 10, and 5 second-round picks in the later years. Okay. I mean, Kevin Durant's getting towards the end of his year. He's older, and he's still Kevin Durant, obviously.
5 second-round picks?
Yeah, for good old Kevin Durant.
I hate NBA stuff when it comes to the trade market. The picks are so stupid.
It seems like literally anything involving trades, the NBA is just weird. But the other piece of news is that James Harden declined options and declined an option and decided to sign a 2-year, $81.5 million contract with the Clippers. So good for James Harden. Now here's the
ugly third cousin of LA. That's gross.
Okay, Lord. So okay. LeBron James.
Yeah.
So in 2025, 2026, he's gonna be making $52.6 million, and I believe he signed a new contract and everything. He's obviously got like 2 more years left because just he's old. But he's still LeBron James, still arguably the GOAT. So apparently he had a conversation with the front office with the Lakers after signing, and he asked, what was the plan, or what is the plan? And apparently he doesn't like the plan. So a trade could be possible. Now, I'm going to look at it from both ways. If you're the Lakers, you still have LeBron. You just got Luka. You did lose Austin Reeves, I think they might have just lost Austin Reeves, because I think he declined something, unless he's going through one more year. Yeah, he just declined a max extension that would have paid him $89.2 million over 4 years. And is he still in the Lakers? Is what I want to know. The Lakers could find himself in a tricky financial sooner than rather than later. Reeves declined a 4-year, $89.2 million max offer that he is eligible to sign this summer. He has a $14.9 million player option for 2026 and 2027 season in that deal. So I think he has either one more year with the Lakers and then he's a free agent, or he's a free agent, but I think he still has one more year with the Lakers. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is you have Luka. You still have LeBron.
Yep.
Why the hell would you not build around that? Is my question. Unless I'm looking at this totally the wrong way, which I could be. But they need a big man and probably more defense. So it's like, dude, now looking at it from a LeBron standpoint, I don't mind, and I think it's pretty smart, because you want to win a championship before you retire again, and I know he obviously wants to. So I'm just thinking, like, who would, like, I heard the Mavericks, the Cavs isn't happening. Get that out of your head. The Mavs, I don't know who else would take them, because you would obviously have to take Bronny with you. Yeah. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not.
So Bronny's probably going to be in that trade thing too. But like, how much is it worth with a guy that has 2 more years left for one championship to trade away probably multiple first-round picks for LeBron? Is that worth it? It would be the first. So. Here's the thing, and it's crazy to think about it too. This would be the first time LeBron's ever been traded in his entire career.
Yeah.
Think about it. He left Cleveland to take his talents to the Heat. Then he left then it was a whole thing in the summer, which was actually fun to watch, of the Heat leaving the Heat to go back to Cleveland. And then he was a free agent when he signed with the Lakers. So this would be the first time he'd ever get traded in his entire career. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here, you know what? Let's look it up. Teams that could trade for LeBron.
I feel like I remember seeing something earlier that no one's really interested in trading for him.
Yeah, there hasn't really been much of a discussion. And real quick, joining us right now, he's always on the show. He's got a lot of knowledge on the Buccos. Still going to talk about LeBron.
Stoops.
But ladies and gentlemen, none other than Bryce Duber. So the teams that are potentially could trade for LeBron includes Dallas Mavericks, Cavaliers, not happening. The Knicks, which is interesting, and the Warriors. Yeah, right. So I don't know. I mean, Alex, obviously you're not an NBA guy, but like, would it be worth it to trade for LeBron? You only have him for 2 years, you're not even guaranteed one championship.
No, you're not. That's the thing. No, it's just not worth it.
There we go.
Hey, there he is.
Welcome. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think trading for LeBron is worth it at all. Like you said, there's no guarantee of a championship, and Bronny probably has to go with him. So, like, who's going to do that? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
Let's be honest about this. Sorry to jump right in and make some throwouts here. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I think it would feed families if he came back for his last year with Bronny and they won a championship in Cleveland.
It's not happening.
No, it's not happening. But wouldn't that feed families? Come on now.
It would feed families. Cleveland
Yeah.
Heights would burn to the ground.
Send him to. Honestly, though, I don't even think he goes anywhere. To be honest with you, I think he stays in LA.
I do
KD
too.
went to the Clippers, trade Bronny and LeBron to the Clippers, and make them the most hated team in professional basketball overnight.
KD went
One
to
of
the
my-
Rockets. James
One of
Harden.
my buddies would love that. If he went to the Clippers, he's a
Yeah.
Clippers fan.
James Harden went to the Clippers. KD went to the Rockets.
Oh, that's right. KD went to the Rockets. Disappointing. That would have been a
not-
great bit.
Not an
Send him
NBA.
to Minnesota.
Timberwolves.
Oh my gosh. But
Well, the Pacers need somebody to score now because Halliburton's done for next year. There's no way he's coming back.
No chance.
But all right. I figure we give Alex a chance. Sam Bennett, go ahead.
I got a couple other things to talk about too.
All right.
So, as I said, Paul Maurice definitely had Sam Bennett locked in his bedroom closet until they came to a contract agreement. So, Sam Bennett
That's
has
insane.
agreed. Sam Bennett has agreed to a new contract with the Florida Panthers. Trying to get the details as we speak. Quite frankly, probably a Stanley Cup champion discount in my mind.
Probably.
Come on, does anyone have the freaking details of the contract extension anywhere?
That's a great question.
It's an 8-year extension. That's all you need to know. It's probably a better deal than most teams would get for a guy of his caliber, you know, the reigning Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Yeah, I can't find the contract information whatsoever. Maybe ESPN has it.
Just go back into the pictures of our group chat, and it should be there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's a great point.
Yeah. So, by the way,
Three-peat take definitely alive. Just saying.
this dude and his 3P takes.
I love my three-peat takes, man. What can I say?
Hey, I have a question real quick. Not to jump in. Is Dom a Oilers fan?
Yes.
Well,
He is?
yeah, but he's a Penguin. But he's a Penguins fan first.
So
but
he likes that the Oilers drafted 2 Michigan guys then.
probably.
Definitely. Too bad they're still not going to beat the Panthers.
I was just looking at this because I just realized they said they tied the program record for 7 draft picks. I didn't realize the Penguins drafted a Michigan guy. That's cool. Proceed.
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
this is the first time I've looked at NHL in probably
Yeah.
3 months. So
So yeah, Sam Bennett gave them a huge discount. His salary cap hit is $8 million a year, which is crazy. So there's that. Not to mention news that we just got literally less than an hour ago. Florida also agreed to a 6-year extension with Brad Marchand and an 8-year extension with Aaron Ekblad, which means that they just retain even more of the championship DNA and three-peat loading. That's all I'm saying. Three-peat loading. Where's the shirt? I don't have the shirt on. It's in my dirty laundry. Need the shirt.
Bryce, he should have been here last week. Everybody was just giving Dom just so much crap.
oh, dude, I bet.
Ian was roasting the crap out of Dom.
Poor Dom, man. He just wants to see his team win.
Too bad he decided to root for a Canadian team.
Oh my god. But
South Florida is the hockey capital of the world. I'm done.
but yeah, so actually I'm actually gonna do something that I've never done before on the show. I'm gonna end the show with positive Pirates talk. That's never been done before. Because I really want to get to this one segment. And Bryce, good thing you're here because you can be a part of this too. There is, that I know of course, 4, count them, 4 quarterback battles going on in the NFL this upcoming season. And what we're about to do is we are going to say who we think is going to win that quarterback battle this upcoming season. There's 4, like I said. 4.
Down them.
4. So first one. This one is hilarious. For the Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones.
I think fully 100% accurate prediction here. Anthony Richardson starts the season, gets hurt for the rest of the season, 5 games in, and then Daniel Jones plays the rest of the season.
I don't think. Oh, hold on. Let me think. Daniel Jones is a loser, and AR-15 as a nickname just sounds so cool. So I'm gonna go Anthony Richardson because the dude, his 1 year he was healthy, he wasn't fully healthy. I don't know if you saw the stat, and it's gonna be wrong when I say it, but he only has thrown I think it was 600 passes till he got to the NFL. That's all of high school, all of college. He only threw 600 total passes, and he's in the NFL. So he was definitely rushed to the NFL. And it might be more, it might be less. I don't remember the stat. I just remember seeing something about it. So I think he's going to take some time, and he's going to be a run-first guy till he feels confident enough to throw the ball. But I just don't think that you can take his athleticism off the table and put Daniel Jones in there. But then again, it is the Colts.
He really wanted to back on a New York team.
I did.
We can in a minute.
It is the Colts, so the Colts are going to do dumb things. But we'll see, I guess. I still think AR is going to start. I don't see a way Daniel Jones starts. But hold on. Didn't Daniel Jones sign with the Vikings this halfway through last year?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Yeah. He was on the practice squad.
Oh,
Was
okay.
he?
So he's going to be like a Taylor Heineke type guy. Just come in and win a bunch of games for him.
Bryce, I can't find AR-15's high school stats, but he threw a total of 393 passes in college. So
there you go. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's going to be Anthony Richardson. Now, will I be surprised if he gets benched? I don't know because, well, first of all, get your cardio up, pal, so you don't tap out mid-game again. For 4-year-old Joe Flacco. But yeah, I don't think Richardson's going anywhere. I think he'll win it. I think he'll have the job. I think they drafted him first round for a reason, so they're going to give him another shot. And this will be his second full season in the NFL technically. So we'll see. All right, now for the least interesting quarterback battle in the league until they draft a quarterback next year, the New Orleans Saints, Kyler Shaw, and Spencer Rattler. Can I say I don't care?
Oh my God.
So who are the
Tyler
options here?
Shuck versus the most hated quarterback to ever go on QB1?
The third guy, I don't even know.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
pick the third guy.
Pick the third guy. Wait, where's my wallet at?
All right, hear me out. I'm going to say something absolutely insane that everyone's going to think is stupid as hell, and I don't care. Spencer Rattler's going to have a season this year that lands him a 10-year career as an NFL backup.
So, I like that. I actually do. I was thinking the same thing, Alex.
A dependable spot starter NFL backup.
So what if I told you that I think Spencer Rattler, I know, crazy. I'll tell you why I think this in a minute. Spencer Rattler throws for 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, middle of the road QB this year. Arguably has a better season than Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. And probably 10 other QBs. But I need Spencer Rattler to have a decent year because I have a graded 10 from PSA, RPA Spencer Rattler. I need him to have a decent season. And I have a Chris Olave RPA graded 8. And I need him to have a good season too. If they both have a great season, wipe my hands clean with those cards, collect my profit, and then I can just happily exist. But until that happens, I can't happily exist. So I agree with you. I don't think this Tyler dude from Louisville is going to do anything.
Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do anything. I say give it to Rattler.
It's thundering
Um,
like a moaf over here. Holy cow.
They're gonna tank anyway to try to draft the top QB anyway. So you
they're
might as well give it to Rattler. Maybe you can get something out of him. He's got better potential.
they're gonna
Facts.
they're gonna be the ones to be the doofuses to draft Drew Aller. Um,
I'm telling you, Christian Hackenberg 2.0. He's going to the Jets.
yeah, probably. But I'm actually going with Tyler Shaw. I think this one just doesn't matter. I think they drafted him because he was second round, I think.
Yep.
I think he was second round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I think they're probably going to give the edge to him, in my opinion. But yeah, they're obviously going to draft somebody next year. That's an obvious thing because you got two backup quarterbacks playing for the first for the first string for the starting job. But yeah, so next one is an obvious one for me. For the New York Giants, Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart. The job's Russ's. Just like last
Yeah.
year.
It's got to be until Jackson's ready.
Literally.
I'm all for it. When did they draft Dart? Do you remember? Because I don't.
They traded up into the first round at the back end, I'm pretty sure. 24.
I think it's crazy to me that you would draft a quarterback so high like that and then bring in a veteran behind and try to copy what the Packers did with Jordan Love. Like, to me, that's crazy. So and how I look at it is you're going to go get a veteran. Okay. Yes, he's going to sit behind, but it only works with the right person.
True.
In my opinion. Like, it might not work with Jackson Dart. You might lose him if you tell him, yeah, we drafted you and we're paying you all this money to sit behind Russell Wilson, who really, he's a veteran, he knows his stuff, but he hasn't performed well. We want him to teach you how to play quarterback. Well, then why would you waste a pick if he's not a plug and play right away when you could have went and got somebody else that would have arguably helped your defense more?
I think the kid's willing to learn. I really do.
It's
Yeah.
possible. Like I said,
And
it's the right person.
He's got a similar tool set to Russ. He's a little bit bigger, got a little bit stronger of an arm, but like Jesus. Very similar tool set, improvisers, work good out of the pocket, throwing on the run, stuff like that. I think he'll learn well behind Russ, honestly. I think it's a great mentor for him.
Yeah.
To say all that, it's Russ's job. If I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, you did. It's Russ's job.
Give it to Russ, but I disagree.
So I'm actually gonna go first on this last one, and for obvious reasons. So
I wonder who it is.
the Cleveland Browns between Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. So for everybody that hates him, you're gonna be really laughing
I already am.
when Kenny Pickett gets the job because it's his. From what I know, as of right now, of course it could change. It was only OTAs, of course it could change. But as of right now, from what I've read, the competition is between Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel. Now, you want to argue it shouldn't be Kenny? Fine. But to argue why isn't Shedeur the starter? Well, he was drafted in the 5th round for a reason.
Dylan Gabriel's second on that depth chart now?
Some people are saying, I'm pretty sure it's Kenny, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur, I believe.
Okay. That's what I thought too.
But like I saw somebody else say it's between Pickett and Gabriel. But yeah, I think Kenny will get the job. Will I watch the Steeler game on mute? Probably. But yeah, it's going to Kenny.
I think Kenny Pickett's going to at least start the season out as a starting quarterback. I think there's a very good chance that Flacco ends up playing at some point in the season. But I also think there's a good chance that all of these quarterbacks could end up playing at some point in the season because the Browns are so monumentally garbage that they're going to do what a garbage organization does and just keep throwing things at the wall, hoping they stick when your team's not good enough for any of them to stick.
So from what I know, actually, and again, I know it's OTS, from what I know, obviously Flacco's Flacco. He's 40 years old. Throw him out there, whatever.
Yeah.
Kenny's not been that bad in camp. People don't want to hear it because they can't stand him. But I'm just stating from what I've seen is that he hasn't been that bad. And stop basing one day off of the entire camp, by the way. Just because he has one bad day doesn't mean he's having a whole entire bad camp. It's not how that works. But, yeah, we didn't even give Bryce a chance to say his pick for that one.
I don't even have a pick. I just have a joke. Did anybody see the meme that said everybody thinks it's crazy that Shedeur Sanders was cited going 102 and a 35? But what's even crazier is I watched him go from 25 to 135. It was something like that.
That's savage.
I mean, depending on what happens with the Browns, I feel like Shedeur is one of those guys that, we talked about with Jackson Dart that would be willing to sit and learn. I feel like Shedeur doesn't want to sit and learn. I mean, then again, I don't know anything about the guy, but I'm assuming just how he is. He wants to compete, and he probably will compete. And I don't know. I could see Kenny Pickett starting just because, I mean, let's be real. Joe Flacco's 1 foot in the grave. Dylan Gabriel throws left-handed, which is a little odd. And, Cleveland does odd things, but I don't think they'll put a lefty in there. The other one I got, who's the other guy in there? Oh, Kenny Pickett. People are still going to call him small hands, but he did sit behind Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, who have proven to be pretty good with quarterback play. So he might have learned something there. He obviously didn't learn anything in Pittsburgh because, well, we suck. But, yeah, I don't know. I could see it, Kenny starting, and then, them giving Shedeur a chance just because, they got him at a steal price in their opinion. But, the Browns will be the Browns, as GP said. But
shout out that idiot, by the way.
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to see Kenny Pickett actually make it. I mean, he was the last big pick QB to come out. It'd be cool to see him actually be successful.
Yeah, I'm still. I know he's on the Browns. I'm still rooting for him, and because of all the crap the media said about him, and whatever. Now, when we play him, I hope we sack the crap out of him.
Pick him off 100 times.
Yeah, literally.
I hope he has like a vintage Jameis Winston Buccaneers game against us.
Though, let's be real. I will laugh if Kenny balls out against the Steelers. I will laugh.
I would laugh so hard.
I would laugh. But it's not gonna happen. Anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much it on that. So
Bryce's left-handed comment just took me out for a second.
I was trying to reason with myself. Like, Dylan Gabriel was a stud at Oregon because of Oregon just being a top-notch program that still can't win a national championship because they're buns. But Dan Lanning has proven he can recruit. That's about it. Can't win the big ones, but he can recruit.
Oh, that's insane. But
a lot of coaches riding on that.
I'm not even super excited for NFL this year, to be honest with you. Like,
I'm really not either.
I haven't been feeling the it's getting to almost July, football starts soon. I don't know if it's just because we're not in college anymore and it's not as fun. But
I just want college ball, like, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like because a lot of guys that I knew for those 4 years I was in college left and went to the draft. Like, it's a whole new set of people now that I just don't know. Like, Nussmeier and Lenoris Sellers, like, all these guys I know nothing about.
I know. I feel like this is the least educated I've been on an upcoming NFL draft class in a long time.
And I think it's because a lot of those guys had that COVID year, came back, so it kind of pushed these other guys behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Bryce, on Thursday, if I would have told you the Pirates were going to score 30 runs in the Mets series, what would you have said?
I would have told you to stop taking the Fent.
But yes, the Pirates swept the New York Mets. They are now at 35-50, and they scored 30 total runs in this game. And they are currently in a rain delay right now, believe it or not, against St. Louis Cardinals. Andrew Heaney is supposed to be on the bump. Anyway.
Can I just say I hate Andrew Heaney?
What'd you say?
Can I just say I hate Heaney as a starting pitcher? Despise it. Hate it. I would rather us have a bullpen game and throw every guy in our bullpen one inning than have him start. Do you know his stats the past 3 starts? He's given up 20 freaking 1 runs in 12 innings pitched.
Oh my God.
That is atrocious. If anybody else did that on another team, DFA'd instantly.
That's
But
some Colin Holderman stats right there.
oh, don't get me started on Colin Holderman.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Colin Holderman. Which, by the way, the Orioles beat the Rays 22-8 on Friday.
Jesus.
So Mitch Keller is now 2-10 with a 3.9.
Let's go. Started 1-0, lost 10 straight, and got another one. Let's go.
It had quality starts each one of those losses.
I'm just so.
The funny part is he legitimately did. Like he was actually.
Which, by the
not
way,
playing
good
bad.
thing- this is the first time I actually mentioned this. Good thing O'Neal Cruz got benched after the Brewers game.
He deserved it.
God. Yeah, he deserved it. Don't hustle. Guess what? Nice. Don't hustle. Then yeah. But
This is who the Pirates need to trade for. We need to shell Mitch Keller out of there, and we need to bring this guy in.
the teams are gonna look at the record and be like, he's 2-10. But yeah, so this game, 9-1 victory over the Mets. Tommy Pham batted leadoff. Okay.
Can't stand Tommy Pham either.
Kutch was 2 for 5. Reynolds was 2 for 5. Brian Hayes was 2 for 4. He heard the trade rumors and was like, yeah, I'm going to skyrocket my trade value. And poof.
Yeah, for real.
Then on Saturday, there was a rain delay.
There
Oh
was.
my God, why does this ad keep playing? Braxton Ashcraft was the starting pitcher. Oh my God. Every time. This stupid ad.
Did you see the lineup for today's game, Mikey? I just looked.
Negative.
Spencer Horowitz is leading off.
I mean, Cruz should not be leading off after.
He's not. He's 5. This is what I mean, though. Like this is the stupid stuff that we do that makes me not even want to watch the Pirates anymore. He's arguably your best bat. Arguably your best bat right now. Well, probably not right now, but at least he's a big hitter. Let's put it that way. He's like your 4-5 guy. You have him leading off. You have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa batting 9th, who's batting 276. You have Nicky Gonzalez batting 4th, who's batting 300. You have it's just, oh my gosh, dude, it makes my brain hurt. Continue. Sorry, I'm gonna put my phone down before I smash it because of that.
Anyway, the Pirates beat the Mets on Saturday 9-2. Ashcraft went 2 innings. Gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 Ks. Obviously, it was the opener. Adam Frazier was the leadoff batter there. Kutch was 2 for 4. Reynolds was 1 for 5. Struck out twice. Nicky G was 2 for 4, who should be the leadoff hitter, but he's not. Joey Bart was 2 for 3. A little bit of a bounce back game, kind of. And Spencer Horowitz was 1 for 3. Brian Hayes was 2 for 4. And then fast forward to yesterday.
12-2? Not 12-1?
12-1, of course, Carmen Machinsky got the win. I didn't play. So Adam Frazier was the leadoff batter here, 2 for 4. Kutch was 1 for 3. Reynolds was 2 for 4. He was taken out of the game for whatever, I guess because it was 12-1. By the way, Horowitz is batting leadoff, and he was 0 for 4 last game.
Great hitter. Great idea.
Brian Hayes was 3 for 5 once again. Why? O'Neal Cruz was 2 for 4. I believe he had 2 home runs, right, Bryce?
He did indeed.
Tommy Pham was 2 for 4. Okay, and
He had a homer.
this one, Henry Davis, 4 for 4.
Can we please trade Triolo with Keller? That'd be great.
That'd be great. I can't stand Jared Triolo.
I honestly, in this, you're gonna freak out and say absolutely not. I would rather Jack Swinski than Jared Triolo.
Okay.
You're gonna hate. I knew you would hate it, but think about it. Jack Swinski's gonna strike out of 10 at bats, 6 of them, but the other 4, he's gonna hit you probably 2 home runs, a double, and a single.
And
Jared Triolo is gonna offer you a fly out to left, a fly out to right, a fly out at the warning track, and a strikeout. Or a ground out, or a line out, or a double play ball. He's not a power hitter. And it's different. Like if he's like Luis Arraez or Jacob Wilson that gets like on base every single time by either a walk or a base hit, yeah, please. but he doesn't.
Gosh. But
So
anyway,
yeah, give me Jack Swinski, please.
real
Mike
quick,
is crying. Mike's
real-
crying right now. He's like, no, please don't bring him back.
real quick, mock draft wise, ESPN has the Pirates taking Evia Arquette he's a shortstop from Oregon State. So there's that. The Pirates are at the moment 35-50 with their record, like I said already.
35 wins through 85 games.
But there's 162 games.
Yeah.
In order for them to even give themselves a chance at the playoffs, they pretty much have to flip their record right now where they're at to even have a chance.
Yep. Which, by the way, believe it or not, the Pirates have a winning record at home, 23-21 this year. Away, they're
first time since 2013, 14 maybe.
Probably. And also, Johan Oviedo finally started a rehab assignment.
Dude, I you know what I'm like? I'm starting to get to this point now where I've been watching Tamar Johnson and Connor Griffin just tear it up in minor league ball. What's the worst thing that happens? They come up to the majors and they strike out 4 times and we send them back and say, yeah, they're not ready. But best case scenario, he gets up there and he goes 2 for 4, hits a home run, brings some excitement to the team, puts Tommy Pham right back on the bench.
Yeah.
But we also, I saw this the other day with Dave Parker, him passing away. Somebody said that it's, by the way. What'd you say?
Rest in peace, Dave Parker, by the way.
Absolutely. Somebody said he might be the only Pirates Hall of Famer that we see get inducted in our lifetime.
Wow.
It was some guy that was like, I think he was 40 something on Twitter. I saw it. It's possible. I mean, for our lifetime, Kutch might make it. Might.
He should. Obviously, we're going to say he should. Will he?
Let's look up. Let me look up his career.
It's going to be close.
If he keeps playing like he is, he should make it. I mean, he's arguably been our top 3 hitter the past couple of years. Oh, he'll make it. Based off stats right now, his WAR is just right under 50, 8,000 ABs. Listen to this number: 2,222 hits, which is pretty cool. 327 home runs and a 273 batting average in his career. 5-time All-Star, MVP, Gold Glove. I mean, it's possible that he makes it. I mean, he won't be like a first ballot Hall of Famer, I don't think. No, there's definitely a bunch of other guys that are sitting out there that rightfully deserve to be in that Hall of Fame, but maybe Kutch can make it in the Hall of Pretty Good if you've seen that on Instagram. The MLB Hall of Pretty Good.
The Hall of Pretty Good.
That cracks me up.
That's hilarious.
What are your thoughts, Mike? What do you think? Do you think any Pirates make the All-Star team other than Skeens?
I think Kutch should get a nod. Now, here's the thing with going into the trade deadline. It's going to be interesting. I'm actually interested. For the first time in a while, I'm interested in this trade deadline because guys I could see gone by the trade deadline is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Adam Frazier, David Bednar, Mitch Keller, Brian Hayes, Andrew Heaney. There's a lot of guys that could be gone.
We should be a big seller this deadline.
Yeah. So, and hopefully Pats to compete in 2026, which is probably not going to happen knowing the Pirates, but it's the Pirates. But
here's my thing with the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. If Cherington and Nutting and even Don Kelly were proven that they wanted to win now, everybody's going to call me crazy. I would 100% be okay with doing a trade. Now, bear with me, where we get rid of a big name like Cruz, even Reynolds, if we're going to get the return that's going to help us win games. Mike's like gone. Look, he fell out of his chair when I said Brian Reynolds was leaving.
Not gonna happen.
But if they were proven and they were gonna get that they could win games, I would 100% be behind that. Just because, I mean, your pitching isn't what's killing you now. It's your hitting. Last year it was the same thing. The year before it was the same thing. And the year before, pretty much the same exact thing.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that I've been hearing it. I've heard it multiple times recently. There are only 2 players on the entire Pirates roster that are 100% ironclad untouchable. You probably guess who one of them is, obviously.
Jared Jones.
Yeah, for sure. Fastball go Burr, you know. But yeah, the 2 ironclad untouchable guys on the Pirates roster right now are Paul Skeens and Andrew McCutchen. That's it.
But the thing is, like, I wish that Charrington would work with Kelly a little bit more. Like, bring Kelly in, say like, hey, what do you think this team needs? Like, we're not sitting in a bad position right now.
I agree.
I think I've went over this the last time I was on. Like, their matchups for the next couple of months aren't that bad. Like, they have pretty good. I mean, they play the Mariners, who are definitely gettable. The Royals are definitely gettable. The Twins are gettable. The White Sox are gettable. The Diamondbacks are gettable. The Giants are gettable. This is all the teams they play in July. They're all right around that 500 range. If they can win 18 of those games, when is the deadline exactly? I don't know the date off my head. Is it before the All-Star break?
No, it's after.
After? Is it the end of July?
Might be.
Even if I'm not sure, I should have.
It's the last day of July.
Okay, so that even works out better because they play the Cardinals, and then I said Mariners, Royals, Twins, White Sox, all that. Like, they're playing a bunch of mediocre teams. There's not one team on here that's gonna sweep them except possibly the Tigers. But bring them in, have that conversation. Like, hey, who's not performing? Who do you think we can go out and get that would help this team tremendously? Because it's not off. I mean, the playoffs are definitely out the window in reality. But in my fairy tale land, with looking at these games that they have to play, it's very possible that they can maybe make 500, potentially give it a run to get into the playoffs. But like we say, nothing will happen. We'll trade for some Joe Schmo that isn't going to help, and we'll be right back to how we were, eliminated by August, and then football will come around and everybody will forget that the Pirates even play baseball.
Yeah. Now, Bryce, the question I'll ask before we get off is, and I think I know the answer, and I hope that we're right, obviously. But is there any way, shape, or form this trade deadline could Ben Cherington save his job?
If he goes out, if Alex has anything, let me look real quick because I have a thought.
I'm still saying no. I'm still saying no.
They're
still ending the season with a losing season. They still hired back Derek Sheldon when he shouldn't have. Yeah, they fired him, but I think he's done either way.
See, I agree with you, but I do think there is a couple different ways that he could definitely save his job. If he can go out and get an outfielder that's going to hit, like Stephen Kwan, somebody like that, that's going to get you I mean, I want a power hitter, but let's be realistic. We're not paying an Aaron Judge type hitter, somebody like that. We're not paying them all the money that they want. So we gotta salvage somebody that's just going to put the ball in play and is going to take the bare minimum. But if he could go out there and get a decent outfielder, even somebody like Castellanos, dude, like, go out there and get somebody. That was the first name I saw on here. I think he can save his job if he goes out and gets an outfielder that helps the team tremendously. Like, we traded for Brian De La Cruz last year. I'm like, I love that. Sign him back next year, and then we can roll. Outfield's pretty good. We'll have Cruz, Reynolds, and then De La Cruz. We'll have a solid infield. Like, I was all in for that. And then we just DFA'd him, and I was lost as to why you would even trade for him if you're just going to cut him.
Yeah.
That was the piece that I thought this year going in. I was like, see what they do in the offseason. And I mean, if you have that, then they went and got Horowitz. I was like, okay, you got Hayes at third. Kalefa at short, Nick Gonzalez at second, Horowitz at first, Cruz center, Reynolds left, De La Cruz right, Barton, Davis, and Andy Rodriguez mixed behind the plate.
That would have been
Like
fine.
that team to me is pretty solid. I mean, that's a cheap but solid team. I don't think, and so let me put it this way. Let me answer your question since I've done a great job at being a politician on this answer. No, he won't do anything. He doesn't deserve to have his job back, but there's definitely possibilities with trades. And if he does do a trade, I'll let you know if I think he still deserves his job back. But 99% chance he's going to go get some bum that's washed up that's going to compliment and help nobody, unfortunately.
Now, how much, like how big of a rebound would they need? Like, what would would they have to have a winning record to save his job, make the
If
playoffs, your job?
if he goes out, here's how I'll put it. If he goes out and gets somebody that gets them to 500, but they don't make the playoffs, I think that warrants him another chance next year. Now, next year, if our record doesn't improve, he does not deserve his job back. And I'm going to continue on that. If he doesn't go out and get anybody, and our record this year doesn't improve from last year, and we're within plus or minus 5, the same record, he should be canned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yippers. But
I don't think they'll can him though. I really don't. I think Nutting has his puppet that he can just maneuver however he wants. Like, hey, I don't want to spend this money. All right, well then let's go find somebody that we can pay that's in your price range. How much are you willing to spend? I'm willing to spend $2 million. That's it. Oh, okay. So we're gonna get Wander Franco after he gets out of jail.
Oh my.
Honestly, this is bad. This will be a joke. TikTok would eat this alive. I don't even care if we're the Pittsburgh Felons. Give me Trevor Bauer. Give me Wander Franco. Give me all these guys that have been to jail. They're going to be cheap. We might win a World Series and we might never win one again. I'm here for it. I just want to see my team win. Win at all costs, man. I don't care.
That's insanity.
Pittsburgh needs somebody to win something, and right now nobody's doing it.
Just gonna go ahead and do that. Anyway,
On that note,
that was all a joke, but that's how serious I am about wanting to win.
On that note, Alex, we gotta pay the bills one more time.
Yep. So, one more time for the episode. One final thank you to DeFriscia Recycling and Junk Removal for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks. Again, you can go down the link in the description below, find their website, find their Facebook, reach out if you're interested in any of their services, see if they provide them in your area. Gentlemen, anything else to say?
Yeah.
Go Bucks.
Go Buccos.
Let's go Buccos, baby.
Go Lurs.
Good night, America.